So the IT shop, unless you exist for the purpose of delivering IT as a company, doesn't have a P&L. They have an expense budget. So for most organizations, they're managing a 50, 100, 200, $1 billion IT budget. But for the most part, they see it as a one big lump sum of money, $50 million bucket to which they can do anything they wish. The relationship of who has the ability to spend has changed and will continue to change. So in as much as the CIO used to control the entire $50 million, they used to determine what projects get delivered in partnership with business, but for the most part, they determined what that project schedule looked like. Now that IT budget's being split up, now that IT budget's being created into line of business P&Ls, and the person responsible for that P&L is actually the line of business VP or EVP. One of the biggest impacts of cloud is their accessibility to the line of business. So the line of business reads about it, the cloud providers sell to the line of business appreciates and understands the consumerization of cloud. You as a CIO have to now measure your services equal to what a cloud provider can create. So now you have a duality in terms of the financial transparency you need to create. Not only do you have to just create a relationship between how the business makes money versus how you spend money, but now you have to compare yourself with an actual cloud provider. Because when I go to an Amazon or a Microsoft, it's going to say it's a $5 per gig per month, and that's going to have this kind of SLA, and it's going to have this kind of reliability, and it's going to have this kind of value that's created for the business, and you need to recreate your organization and recreate your offerings so that it's servicifiable. So that an individual service includes application, includes IT, and includes security as a single dollar, and that's the single dollar that you present to the business so they can determine whether it's valuable to create an internal offering or an external offering. But the most important part of that is that your $5 makes sense and their 1 cent doesn't make sense. Because that 1 cent doesn't include all the other components required to deliver that service. It doesn't include integration. Remember, every one of your applications sits in an ecosystem of hundreds of other applications. Very rarely does an application sit and exist on its own and create value. So now you not only need to prove that the cost is equivalent, but that the additional cost that you're going to have to create, regardless of whether they create a cloud provision, needs to be addressed, needs to be visible, needs to be transparent to the business so they can make better business decisions. It means the business is going to be making more and more decisions on behalf of IT, but they're expecting IT to be the expert. They're expecting IT to be technology professionals to provide them with information that they don't have, just like they expect their operational business units to be experts in building widgets and provide that operational expertise up to the executive. IT becomes the trusted advisor that the business needs to make those decisions. More specifically, IT becomes the organization that helps the business create and manage their business decisions. Because all these IT decisions are becoming business decisions, not just the traditional IT decisions that we're used to in the past.